What's going on, Rich Taker Podcast, man? Today, and we got a good friend of mine, a brother, man. We got his son with us, man, by the name of Marquise Harris, one of the top sports players right there in Boulder City, man. You know what I'm saying? From football, basketball, soccer, everything, man. So, man, we just want to show him a little inspiration, man, and talk to him, man. We're going to let him introduce themselves.
I'm Marquise Harris, you know, and aka Big Cheezy, Boulder City Finds, you did. And this here with my big homie, you know, we're going to talk about some things.
I'm Marquise Harris, I play the Boulder High.
Okay, man, today what we're going to talk about, man, I mean, we're going to start off straight out, we're going to jump right off into it. I'm going to talk about your upbringing, man, like when you were growing up. I know you're born and raised in Boulder?
Jack Quarter, man.
Jack Quarter, man, you know what I'm saying? Well, look here, man, we want to, you know what I'm saying, I done got a lot of inboxes and everything. They want to know how it was growing up over there, you know what I'm saying, and stuff like that.
Man, you know me, I'm a 90s kid, you know, I'm around all the OGs, you know, I was taught and seen a lot, you know, and I felt like at that time when I was growing up in the hood, you know, it was the big homies, you know, you wanted to be like the big homies, the big rims, the money,
right.
The gold teeth, the girls, you know, it was second nature.
Yeah, right off the top.
Yeah, you know, gang banging, the whole nine, you know, so I just stood on my own and I paid my own way.
So like growing up, man, what were some of the people you looked up to over there? Like, I mean, I know it's been a long time, man, but who some of the people that you looked up to?
Man, there's so many, man. You got Blessed Dead Candyman, Tracy, Big Jeremy, man, Decky, you know, man, them the big homies, man. Like a lot of them cats, they laid it on the line and they gave you the knowledge in the game, you know, and it's what you did with it out there, you know, you can show the way.
Right. Man, like some of the inspiration and everything, like growing up, man, I know y'all was out there in the trenches pretty much like on a daily basis, but like growing up, like what triggered you like to pull you to the street like that, for that lifestyle?
Man, it was just, you know, growing up and, you know, I wanted love in a lot of places and it wasn't there, so the street showed me love. The big homies took me up under their wing and they gave me a lot of, like I say, love that I didn't have in certain places, so I chose the streets because it was just right there in my face, you know what I'm saying? There wasn't no way to miss it, you know, you late nights, sneaking in cars, going, you know, it was just a lot, man, that I seen growing up that I wanted to be like them boys, and, you know, luckily I made it out the situation, but, man, I enjoyed it when I was doing it, and it wasn't nothing to brag about now because I got kids that I don't want to take the same role, you did.
Gotcha. So, like, while you were doing that in the process, man, I know you had your mom, your father there, if they ever, like, trying to come talk to you and, like, hey, you know what I'm saying, what you doing? I know they heard about it, you know what I'm saying, did they ever come to you about it?
Man, my mama didn't, you know, she seen nothing but the best in me even when I was thugging. My dad, on the other hand, you know, he had that background street mentality, so he kind of knew what I was doing even when I was trying to hide it, you know, even smoking weed and, you know, coming in with large amounts of money, he would say, boy, you ain't slick, I know what you're doing. So, and, you know, my big brother, he was a hard-working dude, you know, and he seen the things I was doing. He was telling me, hey, man, you need to get out of that, let that go. But, man, when I was in it, you know, I believe anything that I do, I'm going to give it my all. So, that's just what it was. I was chasing that bag, and I was enjoying the street life.
Man, I can't remember right off, I seen your daddy had a nickname, man, and what his nickname was?
They called him Chin Chopper.
Chin Chopper. And when I first seen that, I said, man, he must used to knock people's eyes off.
Man, dude was something serious, man. I seen him take a 6-inch jab and break a dude's jaw. It was real, you know. Like with me, my first fight, you know, I ain't gonna even fake, you know. I used to run, bro.
Right.
I used to run. I ain't want no trouble. But I came home one day after school, some cats had chased me, and I walked in the door and I was breathing. And he said, what the hell you running for? I said, they chased me. Shit, he wouldn't have me. He said, man, go get that fan belt off that Cadillac out there and come on. And he beat the blood out of me, you know what I'm saying? And it wasn't that I felt that he didn't love me, but he was just telling me he ain't raised cowards.
Right.
And his daddy was the same way, you know.
Right.
So shit, when I started, it wasn't no turn around. It was real.
Man, that's another question I asked. I mean, I know growing up, man, like you're in the hood, you're doing your thing, man, and one of the biggest things was like who can you trust? You know what I'm saying? So, man, another question they want to know, like growing up, man, how many true friends going through this process that you had, like you can count on, that you know that, hey, I ain't had nothing to worry about?
I got one, bro, to be honest, that I still run with. You know, he and we always touch bases. That's Bird Dog. You know,
Okay.
he one that seen a lot. You know, we done a lot. You dig? And I ain't gonna speak too much on it because you know it's just it is what it is at this point. But my homeboy Sweet Pea, he locked up right now. He doing life, you know, on some stuff. And them boys, man, they took me under their wing. You know, they showed me a lot of ins and outs. You know, another cat, you know, Beam, he's the same cat, bro. Like he just the way you move,
right?
You know what I mean, and it keeps you either in the light or out the light. But in the way that I was taught, bottom cats was whatever you did, you know, you did, and it wasn't nothing to be talked about. You know, it was confidential. And them three cats there, bro, they just showed me loyalty. You know what I mean? It didn't matter whether it was family or it was blood related or it was gangbang related. Them boys stood their ground with me. You know, they stayed solid. And they solid right now, you know.
So like the difference right now, like the kids growing up right now. I mean, we talked about this the other day, man. I'm trying to see what's your prospect of, or what you think that triggering these kids to live that lifestyle that they living now. Like, I mean, like we interviewed a guy the other day, Big Red, shout out to Big Red.
Oh yeah, so woo.
And man, he was saying that pretty much like when y'all had beef back in the day, it didn't spill off into the street. But now it's like, man, when these kids, they getting into it or whatever, like everybody wanna be rappers, and when they rapping it, it's spilling off into the street.
Oh man, you know, like nothing against the rappers, you know, especially Young Boy, but you know, man, he spilled an open can of worms when he said you ain't a man till you get a body. So a lot of these kids is living off that, you know, when I was in the streets, you know, we kept it in the streets.
Right.
And it wasn't everybody that was getting hit at that time. It's the target, you know what I mean? Like these kids nowadays, they feel like if you in a crowd of people and we want you, it's everybody's right there, you know, and they think it's cool and it's fame because the girls want a thug, you know what I mean? But
exactly.
Thugging don't get you nowhere, you know, it gets you an early grade or penitentiary lifestyle, you know, and everybody don't have the money that them cats, you know, have, meaning like Young Boy, you know, you can't go and get no $1 million bond and going out right here, you know, and you crashing out, you hurting families and, you know, you hurting other people along the way, so it's nothing cool about what the youngsters are doing in our community, but as again, it takes people like me, yourself, people that I grew up with and some of the other cats from neighborhoods that are OGs got to step out and say, hey bro, that ain't the way, you know what I'm saying? Because you crashing out, you hurting others, and you're not hitting 9 times 10 your target, you hitting people that's not even in that target, you know what I mean? You just you aiming at 5 for no reason at that point.
Gotcha. So some of the people, I mean, some of the friends you named at first, I think you said Candyman or something like that, were they in jail or, I mean?
Candyman, he did time, bro. Got killed in a quadruple murder. You know, them boys in Pure Landing some years back, you know, they was doing whatever, you know. I ain't gonna speak too much into it, but man, you know, you don't know if it's your partners that get you, you know, or it's people that's in your circle that you feel like we do X, Y, Z, but then they counterpunch you. And so I feel like when them boys got hit, they had to be close. You know what I mean? There wasn't nobody that, them boys was moving too good and had been doing it for so long, it was second nature for them to get jammed up, to get, you know, murdered that way. So it's crazy. And I feel like it's, in the words of being in the streets, the closest one to you can be the one that gets you. So I trust Slim. I know this is who I run with. You know, my kids, my wife, you know, that's who I know got my back 110% wrong or right.
Gotcha.
You know, so.
Man, another question. I know you got the son with you right here, man, Marquise. You played basketball in high school too?
Football, basketball, and track.
Okay. Yeah. So you think he over your level right now?
Oh, man, you know.
If you can go back to his age, could he handle it?
Oh no, he couldn't do it. In my prime, oh man, he was Kate, bro. I'll bake him. But now, you know, I gotta get credit where it's due. You know, he's out the old branch. And man, we play one-on-one, man. He the truth, bro. He give me the business. No faking.
Okay. How old are you now?
I'm 17.
What high school?
Bow Drive.
Okay, and then what are you playing with that?
Basketball, football, soccer, and track.
Okay, do it all.
Yes, sir.
Okay, what's some of your goals there? What you plan on? You plan on doing all of it when you go to college like that, or?
Yes, sir. Most likely, yeah.
Okay. And how tall are you now?
6'5".
Man, He taller than you, eh?
Yeah, he taller than me.
Okay.
Yeah, he taller than me.
So like, man, let's start back on like from like in your hood or whatever. Like, I mean, right now, if what made you like really want to change like your lifestyle and turn to a family man? Because man, we commend you, like, for real. I see anytime your kids doing something, you there. Yeah, I see you cooking at home. I see you at the games. I see you everywhere. You know what I'm saying? I called you today and you were like, "Hey man, we're doing business today." You know what I'm saying? Look here, hey, can I do it a little early?
Most definitely. You know, what changed my life is this, man. You know, this gonna be probably the first time I really spoke and said about a certain situation. My daughter Tiana was at the age of 4. You know, I had just hit a lick. You know, kicked the door in. Did some things, you know.
Right.
So when I came in from that lick, I knew at that point there, you know, the people that I had hit was just like me. They'd go get them. So when I came in, I moved furniture, you know, stove, you know, all kind of stuff around the windows in the apartment because I knew, you know what I'm saying, if they hit, it was gonna be gunfire, you know what I mean?
Right.
And so with me having my mental set is them or me, I protect my family. But at the same token, I upped the rod at my daughter. You know what I'm saying? Put it to her head, I clicked it, not knowing, waking up in that moment, not knowing that she was right there.
Right.
I heard the noise and never focused on who it was making the noise. And when I clicked it, it didn't shoot. True story, you know, and that was kind of the turning point of when you out here living that street life, you know, it could be easily, you hit the wrong target, you know what I'm saying? So I knew then, like, I got kids, and as the radio was going, I was teaching my kids the same thing. Hey man, if it go down, it go down. One move, we all move, you know, and that wasn't really the right mentality because I wasn't really, to be honest, I wasn't raised to be a thug, you know what I mean? But shit, I chose it.
Right.
And as again, like I said, man, I loved it when I was doing it, but when you get older, you start thinking differently. Man, you don't want your kids, like you're here, being a statistic to the streets, or, you know, you hurt somebody else's family and their kids grow up knowing, oh, that's the dude that took my father's life, or, you know, whatever, and they target him at that point, you know, so you just have to change your mentality of knowing, you know, do you keep doing what you're doing and then eventually you be a statistic, or do your kids be a statistic?
Right.
And that ain't what I want. You know, I ain't want my kids to be the same target in the streets like some of these kids, and they living behind the what if. You know, you really don't know what your daddy did or your mama did to get what happened.
Exactly.
But you got here thugging it, you know what I'm saying? So you have no love. At that point, you're looking for love in the wrong places.
Okay. I got a question. Somebody said, when you look back at everything you went through, how does it make you feel?
That's a good question. How does it make me feel? For the hurt that I cause people. You know what I mean? Like it ain't, but it's nothing to brag about because I got loved ones and homeboys, they got their life too.
Right.
And you know, it's nothing like sitting in that church on Saturday knowing it's your last visit. So like I said, I enjoy what I did when I was doing it, you know what I mean? But it ain't nothing, there's no bragging about it. You know, it's nothing that I would advise anybody to do because when you do that to somebody else, you got somebody's consequences.
Right.
And if you're a God-fearing person and you know the Bible, you know, it says karma. And so when you do something to somebody else, it might not be on you. It might not be on him. It might be on my grandkids.
Right.
You know, and you don't see it coming. I could be in my wheelchair, you know what I mean? And knowing that my grandchild out here doing something and they got killed, I look at it every play. You know what I mean? Like, what did my son do? What was he in? Why did he do it, or why did he get killed? So instead of me just jumping out the head first, I play it out. I think about it. I make a rational decision on what is the best thing for me and my family. You know what I mean? So it was time for a change, bro. Okay.
Man, another question. They said, how hard was it for you to let go of the streets?
Oh man, it's an everyday battle. To be honest, it's an everyday battle.
Like some days, I know we all, man, we go through a point in life, man, like, yeah, you work, I work, you know what I'm saying, man, you be there, and, you know, hey, everybody go through hard times sometimes. Hey. Do it ever click your mind, like, man, you know what I'm saying, I can go out here and just get this and leave it alone.
Bro, every day. I mean, just, like you say, you know, I'm gonna keep it always street. Every day is a chance where I look at work and I get up and I don't feel like going, or I go there and something just don't feel right, or I feel like I'm being targeted for certain situations. I'm like, man, why I do this right here when I go ahead and make $1,000 or $10,000 in one day?
Exactly.
But at the end, like I said, at the end of the day, you know, knowing that you can make that quick money, you're not thinking about the consequences. So the consequences make you say, you know what, this 9 to 5 is better than no job at all, going to jail or getting killed. Because now, you know, it's crazy. I want to take from you, and you not know who I am, but I still burn you at the end of the day just because.
Exactly.
That's not the 90s rule, bro. If I took from you, that ain't mean I had to burn you and kill you. I took what I wanted and got about my business. Then we played it in the streets, and you find out who I was, then you know who was gunfight at that point.
Head first.
Head first.
Like the mental condition, like when you were living that lifestyle, man, like you said, I know you said you lay down at nighttime and it always cross your mind, you always thinking somebody looking at trying to come get you. Did it ever like play a part in your mental condition? Like,
still do. It's no peace. You know, I have peace now, you know, because I'm not in that. I don't put myself in that environment no more. Like even growing up as a jazz supporter's kid, you know, thugging and watching the streets, watch how it was played, I pass through. You know, I hit the horn. Sometimes I stop out, but it's limited. You know, what's happening? How you doing? You know, we were running. But I get out of there because I know at any given moment, when you in that setting, you know, you could be at the wrong time, in the wrong place at the wrong time. And that bullet ain't meant for you, it's meant for the dude that's beside you.
right.
But he don't get killed, you do. So at that point, I leave my kids behind, wondering what happened, why. So I just don't put myself in that place no more. You know, like it's,
right.
I don't forget where I come from. You know what I mean? Like I always love jazz sports and what I did, like I said, you know, in the hood. But shit, it's bigger than the hood. You know, I got so much to live for, bro, and I don't want to shortchange because of my stupidity.
And that matter another question that said, what or who do you feel influenced you to go to the streets? And why?
Bro, as again, man, really nobody. I just chose it because that's what I was enjoying. Like it's nothing like, you know, it's being a man with a big ego. Right. Bro, like I got the nice clothes, I got the nice cars, I got the nice rims, I got money. So looking at, you know, I hate to say this because all women are not like this, but for women that's weak-minded, they fall for you know, flashy things.
Right.
And a woman that has her own and brings something to the table, you can't just walk in there because you got this and you got that, and she gonna sit there and lay down and let you run over. So the women that I dealt with, 9 out of 10, they was caught up in the flashy thing, bro. They was caught up into the life of, if he get in this or I get in this, he got my back. You know what I mean? But shit, nah, bro. Like, it's a change, bro. It's a change, man. Like, I don't want a woman that look for the flashy things no more. You know, I got a woman that bring the same energy and the same thing I bring to the table. And when I'm crashing out, she gonna tell me, hey, man, you wrong.
Right.
You know, and even with my partners, I consider I have associates, to be honest.
Right.
Because a partner go tell you, say, man, you don't do that, but you wrong. But the one that ain't your partner, he gonna tell you, man, go and crash out. But when I went to jail, there wasn't nobody I couldn't call nobody say, man, give me this, give me that. It wasn't none of that. It was answering the phone, like, you know, hey, bro, I got you. But that was it. You know what I mean? It wasn't no more answering the phone calls at that point.
But like right now, like friends, man, like I say, friends, associates, or whatever, you know what I'm saying? I didn't deal through it. But have you ever just called a person and just needed just something small, and they like just declining, like, hey, you know what I'm saying? Hey, call me back, you know what I'm saying? You call back, never answer, you know what I'm saying? Like that. And how did it make you feel? Did it make you like, man, I gotta leave him alone? Or?
Man, it just show you the difference in, is again, I don't consider love. I consider loyalty that proves your love to me.
Right.
And what they're saying is, bro, like, I don't got nobody I can call and say, man, can you? Because at the end of the day, when you asking for a friendship or a handout, a lot of them ain't gonna be there.
Right.
I got one partner, well, I got 3, I'm gonna be honest. I got 3 partners I feel like if I ever call for anything, that's Jonathan, that trendsetter. That'll be you, because we 100, you know what I mean? Larry, another one. But for the most part, but like I try not to ask nobody, so that's why, like I say, bro, I work hard, I save hard, you know what I'm saying? I hustle hard, not in the streets, but with my trade, it's always money to be made. So I don't take my money and abuse my money because I know what it took to get that money. Street money different.
Right.
You know, you getting street money, shit, you can be up today and be down tomorrow, but you know, I still got that bag to go and get in and go back out on this corner and make it happen.
That you got, damn right.
Yeah, that 9 to 5 money different. Yeah, 9 to 5 money different.
And that's another thing, man, like with the search I got going, trust the process. I told you, I gotta have mine, man. Look at, y'all see the trust the process church, man. It's trained in, man. It's owned by them. you know what I'm saying, and everything, man. Y'all gotta get out there and support him, you know what I'm saying.
Appreciate that.
One click away from it. I mean, you got that song Marquise, I'm quite sure y'all can hit them up and get all that.
What's the story behind Trust the Process?
I normally don't answer, bro. I normally let my son answer it. So I'm gonna let him answer that, bro. Cause before he answers, it is a mindset that I feel like if everybody walked by this path with Trust the Process and even Risk Taker, you dig, that's something that you have to have instilled in your mindset to know that it's bigger than the streets. It's bigger than what popularity brings. You know what I mean? It's a lively setting that you really have to put forward to know, hey man, I wake up every day to do something different, but positive. You know what I mean? Be a positive impact on everything that you do. So I'm gonna let you go ahead, son, and run it.
The story behind it is that people didn't believe in me. So I gotta show them, and that's what it is.
So Trust the Process, give them the steps of Trust the Process, what that means.
It means God first, God dang.
It's all good. Take your time, bro.
It means God first, education second, family third, money last.
What I'm talking about.
And that's a trend of all 9 of my kids, you know. I instilled in them as kids growing up, you know, like my setting of getting money at one point, that's not for you.
Right.
I had some guidance, some leadership, but for the most part, the leadership that I really wanted, and the people that I really wanted to be there wasn't there, you know. But again, my 9 kids can't say that Daddy didn't do his part.
Right.
You ain't got to say it though. I got it. You know what I mean? And I'm not bragging this. I'm not rich, but when it comes to my kids, what they need, you got to have your mind right. You just don't get it from me.
Right.
You got to work for it. And that means go to school respectful. Do your part in the classroom. Be a leader. You know what I mean? So when he said, Dad, I got this going on, I got a good job. When I tell my job, look, at the end of the day, I got to support him. I got to show him, like, I got 9 to 5, but that's your life decision. My life decision is to make sure that I'm in everything that he do. I'm supporting every move that he make, because it takes that one split second where I'm not there and something transpire, you know what I mean, and he crash out.
Right.
Because this thing right now, shit, 16 to 25, that's all they know. It ain't no when my mama was here, my dad was here, but you know, you out here in the street, my mama and dad doing what they doing, they enjoying what they enjoying. I enjoy with my kids. I enjoy family. I enjoy a setting of people that really just trying to do something that's gonna help me better myself.
Right.
Yeah.
What I'm talking about, man. So, like, what I'm thinking right now is that, and just for the younger generation, man, if there's anything that you can tell them inspiration about, you know what I'm saying, leaving the streets alone, since you already went through all that, what is something that you would tell the younger youth that's really blind by the situation? They thinking that because they getting money, and I learned a long time ago, a person is out there getting money in the streets, man, and hey, you taking pictures with the money and all in your hand, that's all you got. Because a real gangster, I don't know that have like bank accounts in their name and nothing like that. Yeah, they can't, you know what I'm saying, if they ain't got no job. So,
Facts.
I mean, what inspiration you send out to them?
Man, I tell them like they're here, you know, man, the life that they living, bro, I'm not gonna judge them first and foremost. I'm gonna talk to them. I'm gonna be open with them. Some wanna hear it, some don't. The ones that wanna hear it, you know what I mean? Like, they got some good upbringing. The ones that don't wanna hear it, they just ain't have nobody in their corner, and they kind of got out the mud, you know what I mean? But they just, that's all they knew, you know what I mean? But you got to want better to do better too.
Right.
And so when I tell you the kids that I do mentor to, you know, I say, hey man, you know, just because you ain't have a mom or a dad or a brother or a sister that was in your corner, doesn't mean that it's cool to go out here and do crazy shit, you know.
Right.
You got to be open to listening, to want to do better. And see, that's what helped me along the way, because I did have older cats that was around my pop's age was telling me, hey man, I see what y'all here doing, young man. Hey, you better be careful. I didn't buck the system. I listened, but I was also careful because I knew just because I didn't think nobody was seeing me, man, those people had eyes on me. So these young kids now, bro, like they're not gonna be open to anybody walking and talking to them, because first and foremost, you go judge them. You go stereotype them. Your pants sagging, so you know, hey man, you know this, that, the third. Oh, you got the rod on you. This, that, the third. Man, you can't do that. You know what I'm saying? You got to walk into and say, man, hey, I walk that same light. Even if you didn't, but with me, in my case, I walk that same light. So therefore, I'm gonna walk up to him and say, man, look, I ain't tell you not to protect yourself, but it's the way you protect yourself too. You know what I'm saying? Like I remember a couple of Pelly days, bro.
Oh yeah.
You step on my shoes, it's up. You say somebody's line is up. You say cuz is up. You know what I mean? It just, but bro, when I got older, again, bro, you know, I was opening to anybody that talked to me. It was crazy that when I got older, the cuz word didn't bother me no more because, man, I got family they use that word. And it didn't mean the gangbanging side of it, but it was just the terminology they used.
Right.
And so do I beat my cousin up at this point, you know, because you used it, or do I just let it walk past? But I had to punish people at one point behind it because I felt like that was just the right thing to do. But nobody told me nothing different. Hey man, that ain't what's up because he say that. He might not, he just may be, as again, from the Cooper Road. All them cats use cuz, whether it's gangbang related or not. But I had a bunch of homies that was up there with just, you know, they was with the shit. That's the dead white boy. You know, he's one of the few that could come to Jazz Waters and wear blue rag, and I was one of the few that could go to the Cooper Road and be flamed up, you know, but it was a respect thing, you know, and when you out in the streets, it's no respect no more. You know, it's not about because you from this hood or this hood and it's behind this color, it's just no respect no more. So these kids nowadays just don't have no respect. That's what the streets is losing these kids to, man. It's no respect and there's no guidance. There's nobody to go give them an open arm and say, bro, I love you, hug you and say, bro, I've been there. But I'm that dude, you know, like I walk to anybody, bro, and I don't care where you from, what you bang, you know, what you going through. Your head down like you're thug and say, bro, I love you, man. You know, and that's the growth. You know, that's the growth, bro. Well, as again, man, the big homies, man, the OGs, bro, you got to learn to take into consideration, hey, man, them kids need love, man. They need some guidance, you know, and you've been out here wilding, and you done worked that tool before, you done hustled before, like, man, hustling and getting money, it separates you from being in the streets being a thug, too. So I just tell anybody, man, these kids got to learn the difference, man, that it's because you got a gun, you go to jail, but you got to have these.
Right.
So you ain't got that tool enough, so what you do then? A lot of them go to jail, but they ain't doing for a while.
Fold up like a lunch.
Yeah, man, they cry like a baby, bro. You know, you catch them in that corner on that phone, man, come keep me up out of here. No, man, you got the big homie to come over here, he finna smash you though. So you can't call home to mom and say, man, save me.
So check this out, man. Living that lifestyle. How did it feel when your kids found out a little about your lifestyle? How did they react? You know what I'm saying? When they see the way my dad used to be compared to how he is now.
Man, all my kids can witness this, bro, because they done see me on all kind of different levels. From the gang banging to the streets to you know, drugs. They done seen it all. You know, his people from the Cooper Road, I'm from Jazz Waters. I done got into it with his people. We had, you know, we never to the extent of shootouts, but we, you know, shit, it was up. You know, like you don't like me, I don't like you. We ain't gonna sugarcoat it, but they didn't seen it all, you know. And so, as again, I never hid anything from my kids because I want my kids to be open. I tell them all the time, I say, bro, you feel like it's something you need to get off your chest? I'm the first person you need to talk to because I'm gonna tell you, say, bro, you know what you're doing, right?
Right.
It's grown man business. So if you get that gun, you working, that's what? It's grown man business. Hey, I done coach you. You know, I done gave you the knowledge. You done seen what I'm capable of doing, from fighting to upping it on people.
Right.
He done seen it. He been there. You know, my daughter Tiana been there. I was at our own neighborhood gym. The little cat and I got into it, and I smashed him with these. I'm gonna get that rod. Oh man, it's up. You know, my preacher was back there. I told my preacher, if you move, I'm gonna knock him through the car with it. You know, but my preacher wouldn't move. He said, man, think about this here. And in that mentality, even as a grown man, I was like, man, I ain't trying to hear that, man. This dude just told me he'll kill me. Because right now you tell me you'll kill me, 9 times out of 10, it's really on your mind, it's on your heart. So before you get me, I get you. But being that he was a preacher and I was open to listening, and when God moved, he moved on me as like, you know, hey, you know, when you do this, ain't no coming back. You know what I mean? Like I know premeditated murder, when I go in the courtroom, did I have time to think with that gun? See, a lot of these kids and people in the world don't know that.
Right.
When you go in front of that judge and he asks you, or the prosecutor asks you, hey man, what did you do in the process of having that gun? Well, that's what I had to cock it. If it wasn't one in the tool, I had to walk that way. So it's premeditated at that point. And so these kids that don't understand that, don't know the law, and they want to think they out here thugging, maybe you don't know the law, you beat.
So man, living that lifestyle, how much time you did in jail? I mean,
man, I really can't say I did a lot of time because I was off and on. Like I do this and go to jail, and get out. I had a favor, put it like that. My dad knew a lot of people in the system.
okay.
I never read it, you know what I'm saying? So you can check the paperwork. I ain't never snitched on nobody.
Right.
I stayed silent, you know what I mean? So a lot of times I would get jammed up on situations or be around partners that got jammed and they, hey man, well he said this, well he said that, well shit, what you talking to me for then? Let's get it. Man, they're gonna give me some time, whatever you gonna do, you know what I'm saying? But I know you got 48 hours to hold me and let me go if you ain't convicted me of this charge. These kids don't know that.
But look at that lifestyle now, man. I know your wife's Samantha.
Right.
So when you go in there, man, and like you done had a bad day, you got a lot of stuff in your mind, you go in there, man, you want to smash out. That's that one person that you know that can talk to you and calm you down.
Nah, bro. We beef out when they come to me on the grass there, but she gonna be on me, and I know she tell me right, but I'll be want to hear. But I got one that, man, my daughter Tiana, bro, like she's a prayer. She's strong-minded. She's that one go step in front of me and say, Daddy, you ain't going. You know what I mean? You finna sit down, we finna talk about it. I'm like, nah, I don't wanna hear that, get out of the way. And I ain't gonna hit my child, you know what I mean? So I ain't gonna pull that tool on her. But when she grab me and she say, Dad, like listen, you finna do something stupid. It ain't about you no more, it's again. But it's upbringing, because they done heard me tell them all the time, say, man, you got to think about anything that you do before you do it.
Right.
So they use the same terminology on me, so it gives me the mindset, so you know what? Oh man, let me sit down, bro. Let me think about it.
Man, hey, it's something about them girls, man. I'm talking about, man, them little girls, man, I'm talking about, man, I can admit, on my behalf, man, my daughter, she got away with more than with the boy. I mean, look, getting the belt with, I don't know how you did. I ain't never pulled that belt and whoop no ass. I mean, not with her.
What you think about the woman, bro? Will I give them out, bro? Yeah,
the girls too?
Oh yeah, bro. I don't spare nobody, bro. But as again, bro, like you spare a rod, you spare a child. And I ain't gonna lie, just being honest, man, my mama would whoop my ass and I would snatch that belt. Like, you ain't mama, hey, don't hit me no more.
Well, that sounds like you, huh?
But I'm gonna keep it G though, man. My mama a stepper, bro. Like she quiet assassin. I snatched the belt, I was 17, bro. And just got in trouble, came home, she found my weed, threw it down, she flushed down the toilet, she got, man, what you doing? Got in my house. Yeah, man, I cook, man, you fucking up. It's mine. Yeah, if it's yours and you want to be grown, then they go to the streets. Well, that's what, the streets will teach you. So when I came back home, she wanted to whoop me with that dust, I snatched it. She ain't all with me, she grabbed that 38. And she like, nigga, play with me, I'll burn you. And she meant it.
Okay.
You know what I mean? So like, I was raised hands down, bro. I was raised right. You know what I mean? But shit, at the end of the day, man, I can be taught here, but when I step outside there and, mama don't see the red rag and the red dickens and the flannel jackets that I left the homie house, like right now I drape out and I go and, I get out the mud. So she didn't see that. But when she got older, I honestly told her, I said, Mama, like, a lot of things that you seen, you heard, you thought, hey, bro, I was really, I was there. Yeah, bro, I ain't, bro, I just speak on certain things to a certain extent, but, I mean, all of us in this room can witness R. Kelly concert, the shootouts downtown Shreveport. Say, man, I was out there, that's Queensboro, Forest Oak, Hooterville, like these some of the cats out of Plain D and Jazz Wars, like, man, that was a real night for me. I didn't heard the bullets. I got to run after I didn't finish, And everybody left me downtown. Only person to save me, my brother, because I had to come out. My brother pulled up with my other brother, Best of Dead. They pulled up in the old deuce from the quarter, man, get in, bro, it's us. But I was scared, because I knew what had to happen.
Right.
Nobody to run to at that point. Just so happened my brother I was dying, man, he didn't leave because he was hearing about all the stuff that took place. Where my little brother at? These cell phones weren't even played at this point.
Right.
It was beepers. But when you run this shit, the beeper gone.
Yeah, it's over.
Yeah, it's gone. So, I just hear my brother saying, Cheezys, it's me. And shit, I was still hesitate to come out because so many people in the streets knew me. I was at one point confused between Cheezy out of Queensboro and Cheezy out of Jasquarter. So at that point, you know, shit, I was having to feel with people behind, oh, that's the nigga out of Queensboro. No, but that ain't that nigga. No, I'm from Jasquarter. No. So I took on a lot of beef with niggas that even had nothing to do with me at one point because I was just cheesing.
Right.
You know, so it's hard to live the lifestyle, man, and be out here, but not knowing what was the outcome. And I still walk around in on my mind sometimes. You know, you can apologize. Like I said, you know, I apologize to a couple people I did stuff to in the streets, you know, and to their family because I was young. You know what I mean? And I tell everybody right now, if you walk in this door right now and blow my brains out, if I did something to you, man, I was apologetic from the heart.
Right.
And it's growth, you know. So I tell anybody, I say, man, if I did you something, I'm sorry. You know, I apologize, you know what I'm saying? Like this, that ain't me no more. So if you kill me, I know one thing, I'm going to heaven because I already repented. I done talked to God about what I done in them streets and, hey God, if you take me to there tomorrow, you know, it was my time, regardless if it was a gunshot or a car wreck or just falling dead, you know, at that point, me and God had already had that discussion, you know what I'm saying? And he told me, hey, don't be afraid to step out here and be a vessel. You know what I mean? I ain't a preacher, but at the same token, when you speaking about the Bible, man, you have to be open and talking to people because that's how you speak out and use God's testimony.
Right.
And so I tell people, hey, bro, you ain't never too big to apologize to say to live another day.
No.
So I apologize to anyone that I did something to. Hey, man, I'm sorry. And if you kill me as again, bro, like, hey, you got to deal with that. That's going to be on your watch.
Right.
You know, so
And
that's,
speaking on Shreveport, though,
yeah.
do you feel like you got a lot of youngsters out here, they got pistols, all types of guns on them, right? But given how the state is in Shreveport right now, do you feel like the young people should have a strap on them?
No, bro, but I'm gonna tell you, you know, like when you out here in the streets, like right now in Shreveport, the way things are, bro, you know, we were quick as black communities, it's the police. You know what I'm saying? They did this, they did that. Man, the white people ain't gotta do that no more, bro. Because now we harming ourselves, we killing ourselves off. But it goes back to, like I said earlier in the interview, man, these kids, bro, are in the streets with no guidance. They're not being trained in a different mindset because everybody think it's cool to listen to these rappers and they got a gun and they showing money and they showing what they got. Man, that's what the kids crashing out behind, you know, it's no guys, bro. They falling behind the social media world, the rappers. You know, but Shreveport can change. But it take a host of people to go out here and I don't care because you in Cedar Grove, you in Jasquarter, you in Motown. Say, man, it's leaders in that community for a reason. They've been through so much. How about you walk those same streets that you pay dues to and go out and tell the kids, hey, bro, I see you with your tool, you heard me? What's up with that? Man, I'm just watching these niggas. Well, that's what, at the end of the day, bro, if you kill that little dude that's black just like you, buddy, you just killed another black life, bro. You just took somebody that could easily change and want it better that ain't got no guidance. They know the streets, so they gonna change. They gonna choose the streets. You can't blame it on the society no more, man. It's just these kids, bro, don't have no guidance, bro. That's what it is. They have no guidance.
Well, what if they do got guidance, but they got the wrong guidance? Like, how you feel about the ones that fall into that?
That goes back to OGs, bro. It goes back to OGs. When you say you 25, you make it out of the 90s. Say, man, you got a testimony of using these streets. So you got to go back and say, bro, like, as again, I tell all my little partners, hey, man, say, bro, I'm not going to tell you not to carry no tools on you because it is day and age that we living in. Say, man, they whooping old black women. They pulling you out the red lights. They neighborhood to neighborhood. They don't care where you at. They letting you have it. You know what I mean? I think on Hearn, they had the little shootout where the kids was doing the little crate challenge. You know, they rolled by, they fired it up. You know what I'm saying? So at that point in time, like, you can't blame it on nobody at that time besides stupidity. And a lot of people don't, you know, probably not agree with me on that, but say, man, it's what you do, bro. It's what you willing to do to step out there. I would have talked to one, if he pull a gun on me, hey, bro, all right, yeah, you right. But I'm just trying to tell you, say, but it's an end and road to this here. There's no way out of jail or dead. That's what it is. And if you don't walk out here and you tell these kids there to be open to conversation, like, again, don't judge them, because when you judge them, you're going to lose them. You got to talk to them, bro, and say, look, man, I've been there. I ain't judging you, I'm just telling you what's going to end up happening if you don't start changing or trying to get away from it. Now, if you too deep in the streets, bro, and everybody know what you done did, you know, it is what it is. You can't change it because you got to be on point at all times now because you did so much.
And I feel a lot of them don't listen to the ones that haven't been through it. You know what I'm saying?
It's hard. I can't tell a kid how to play basketball if I never played. It's like coaching. I can't coach you to a victory if I never played the game.
Right.
It's you got to lead by example, bro. You got to be able to do something, to walk through something, to know what it is to get there. You know, and it goes back to my son, like with him. Man, nobody put the basketball in his hand, nobody put the football in his hand, but guess what? I played that sport, so I said to myself, hey man, I'm gonna put it in my son's hand, not the gun. You see what I'm saying? Like, I got guns, you know what I'm saying, right now. But I don't put it in my son's hand and say, man, hey, wherever you go, have it on you, because that will give you some big nuts. If you a man, you can fight. You live to see another day. See, that ain't taught no more. It's taught, hey, but if somebody put your hands on you, the crowd will influence you to get a gun. They gonna influence you to go ahead and, hey man, he let the nigga whoop you, then you ain't do nothing. Well, that's what? I got a tool. So now when I go kill you, where your partner at now? See, they're not being taught that. You dig? They're not being taught that. It's cool to get a gun, it's cool to have big nuts, but when you go to jail, bro, like I said, man, it's a different story, bro. It's a different story.
Yeah, normally, man, what we do, my son, he have a question. I know y'all got a lot to do, and we talked about y'all still got some business to go take care of, stuff like that. He have a last question that he asked everybody to come on the show, and he gonna let you down with that, man, and then we'll end it.
All right, man, you know, we on your time, bro. I believe in this right here before you answer that question, bro. This should help a lot of people, us as men in general. Say, man, you gotta slow down. You gotta pay attention to the signs because God put a lot of stumbles in our way. Right. But we so busy as people that when we get in those situations, or I got to get here because I got this going, I got that going. Man, God put some stumbles in your path to slow you down because it could be that car wreck that kill you. Right. You see what I'm saying? Or it could be that line of fire that you passing by and somebody shooting somebody else and you get hit. So when God gives you those signs, bro, you slow down, you pay attention. And that's how you grow. You slow down, pay attention to the things that's around you, your awareness, man.
So how you feel about the ones that, man, be in them situation, man? Let's say the car get hit up, they with their partner and everything like that. Even with their boyfriend, and they still chose to be getting them same cars and still be with that person. And God has spared your life.
At that point, bro, it's when you saying that, you know, at that point you let the devil kind of just got in there and he done blinded you. And that's what the devil is, he do. I was one of the same ones, like I said, bro, I let the devil blind me in so many different ways, even with women. You know, I use women for a lot of situations and I paid it back, you know what I mean? Child support a motherfucker, man. You know? But it was fun when I was doing what I was doing because I had paid attention to the signs. I was enjoying whatever came with the women, but I never seen the child support coming back. And so all that I took, I had to give back and more. And I don't regret it, you know what I'm saying, because again, it's my child or children, you know what I'm saying, but it takes a man that do what he do in the streets, and when child support hit or, you know, something hit home, say, man, you just got to man up and say, hey, bro, that was me. And a lot of people don't want to take their own faults and look at it and say, hey, man, that was me. They quick to do this. You want to point the finger. Say, man, look at yourself first. Judge yourself before you judge others. And that's my life. You know what I'm saying? Like, every day I wake up, bro, I don't point the finger at nobody else or what could have been yesterday. And I don't live for yesterday, I live for today. Right. So whatever I'm doing today is going to be what I'm doing right then and there, and it's going to be positive. It's going to try to, you know, involve people that want to be positive. And I ain't gonna never say, you know, when it's a negative situation around me that I don't try to intervene, but at the same token, if I see that I'm not getting nowhere, hey man, God bless you, bro. You know, hey man, I wish you the best. You know, and I move around because, you know, some people, again, want to be open. They want to listen. They want out. And then you got some, like you say, but they just, you know, they shoot the car, they get back with the same people, or they getting, you know, be around the same thing. That's because, bro, that's what you choose to do at that point. You got a chance. And it's what you do with that one chance. But do you keep going till you get killed, or you go to jail, or you keep watching your partners die? And at that point, like I said, man, I watched a lot of my partners die. you know, man, back to back to back. And it wasn't nothing fun about, you know what I'm saying, I said, but sitting in that service knowing my partners got, hey bro, I was with them people the night before and they got killed the next day. And I wanted to be there. You know what I mean? My cousin Kyle, I talked to him the day before he got killed. Man, that wasn't that cool that he telling me what's right. And I don't know the situation, so I'm limited to speaking on it, but it's crazy that I talked to you today, and then if I go to a wedding and come home, I get a phone call, hey man, he just got hit up. The old mentality is like, man, I gotta go find out what the play is, what happened, but if God wanted me to know what the play was, he'd have put me there.
What happened, Joe?
And so I'm appreciative that God put me in situations where now I don't be there. Because I know in the back of my head is always a thought, the what if. So I try to live for the present moment and just put myself with people that's positive, my kids.
Right.
You know, so that's.
We got one last question from someone who's watching, Damian Pickens. How do you feel about the things we allow our kids to see and listen to? Hey,
bro, that's big, D. Man, it's our kids are caught up in a time where that's all it's rapped about: killing, shootings, guns, drugs. So he listened to Young Boy, and I ain't gonna knock him from not listening to Young Boy because that's just what the times that we're in. That's the music. But when it comes to the social media world, the news and all that, we don't watch news. Because every time you turn the news on, it's something that's bad. You don't put on the news what's positive. And for us as black people that's getting killed, what we are getting killed, it's more for, hey man, look at this. And the people sit back and say, see, you can't blame the police no more. You can't blame this no more. You can't. Hey, you can't stop him from listening to it because that's what, when you stop a kid from listening to that kind of music, that's what, he gonna do it anyway when he get from around you. So why not be open to listening to the same music with your child, but telling your child at the end of the day, like I tell him, hey man, Young Boy go ham. I listen to him. But at the same token, do you got Young Boy money? Can you pay your way out with the system? Nah, you can't. So with that being said, bro, like with me, I'm gonna let my son listen to it, but I'm also gonna coach him away from, hey, cause he lived his lifestyle, rapping about his lifestyle, that ain't you. You need to make it. So that trust the process meaning that you need to make it. Young Boy made his career. Have you? No. So establish your own demeanor, your own everything. So, you know, if that answers the question, you know, I think that's key, but you can't stop them from doing nothing they want to do, because shit, like I said, man, I wait till my mama go to bed, bro, I'm out the window. You know.
And final question for the interview: through all the risks that you've taken throughout your whole entire life, do you feel like it was worth it, or do you feel like it kind of came back on you?
Oh no, bro, it never came back on me. And I'm gonna say this to answer your question. God gave me a second chance, bro. Best day in 03. Man, he gave you a second chance. And so, man, when you get that second chance, bro, that second win, bro, God is gonna allow you to go through some things. And when you allow those things to happen to you growing up and maturing, is what you do when you get the right mentality. My mentality is never to do nothing I've done before. I want to get better. I want to be old and see them do what they doing in life and see my grandkids grow. So yeah, for me, you know, if I knew what I do now, that's why it's called, you know what I'm saying, growth. I would have never took none of those routes. No gang banging, no drug dealing, no guns, you know, not even the gold teeth and tattoos. Like, don't get me wrong, I love my tattoos, but they all mean something to me. But I would have did it totally different because now I know so much different. So that's my journey to teach my kids, don't make the same mistakes that Daddy made. The kids that's around me don't make the same mistakes that I made. But that's why I consider myself a guide. I want to guide people in the right path versus, hey man, yeah, I did this, go do this. Or, you know, like, you know, with some of the movies, bro, like, you see the big homies, hey man, say, man, go let dope, you know what I'm saying, go make you a couple $100. But he ain't telling the little homie, you gonna sell the dope and you go to jail, bro, I'm gonna come get you either. So when the little homie tell because he interrogated, then you gonna see somebody knock his top off. They don't teach that. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, bro, like, I feel like everybody that's out here in the world that's street-oriented, did a lot and got away with a lot, you gotta teach those kids different, bro, because that's why God left us here. You know what I'm saying? To be a vessel, teach them different.
Yeah, real talk. All right, well, man, what we're gonna do? We're gonna close it out, man. Look at, man, we appreciate everything, man. You coming by and everything, man. Speaking up, Marquise, man. Look at, man, we look more from you, man, for the sports. I know you got a whole year of sports. Y'all almost through with football, so y'all gonna go with the basketball,
Yes, sir.
then soccer, then
Well, basketball and soccer start at the same time.
Okay, so you gonna be like, man, you gonna be running back and forth, huh?
He did it last year, bro. He ain't getting it. I was paying so much money just watching him play sports from one field to the court, but it was worth it.
Man, that's what I'm talking about.
Yeah, it was worth it.
Well, man, we here to support you, man. Look at, we'll never have to question ourselves how we're gonna find out because your daddy, man, he there, he posts everything, he going live, look at all the highlights, and man, look at him. And keep up the good work, man. We appreciate you for stopping by.
Man, I appreciate y'all for having me, man. You know, this was much needed, bro, because a lot of the youth that's out here need to be seen. You know, need to see this because again, I don't judge them, bro. I'm here to help teach them the better way.
We'll tell you, Damien said something.
It's all about the energy you keep around. Oh yeah. Damien, more dub, bro. Yeah, man. It's all about the energy, bro.